Welcome to the Public Speaking Experts Podcast with Elliot K. and Jose UCAR. Every week we bring the tips, tools, and strategies for you to become a world-class public speaker. We bring you guests, experts, and authorities in the field of public speaking to enrich you and enhance your public speaking journey. Remember to subscribe, rate, and comment. And now, please welcome your hosts, Elliot and Jose.
Sup?
Uh-huh.
What's going on?
Joe, what's going on with you?
What's happening?
I'm
What's
getting
the
ready
crack?
for summer, mate. I'm getting ready for summer, mate, innit?
Are you? I thought you're wearing those sunglasses. You know, for those who's listening, he's wearing sunglasses because he's blinded by my awesomeness. It's like, I can't take it. My eyes.
Well, yeah, you were right. You were right about the fact that my eyes couldn't take it anymore. And people, here we are again, another Monday. And yes, I mean, it's just, why should I label these Mondays?
Amazing, exciting, inspiring, empowering, educational, deep, insightful, that kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, cool. There we go. So that's what I'm gonna label these days with Elliot K.
Yeah.
I guess that's why I do it every other Monday. No, every Monday, actually, every Monday. People, how are you? How are you all? I wanna hear you. Elliot, give this audience a round of applause. Wow. People, you are amazing. Thank you for listening to the Public Speaking Experts podcast. Yeah.
It is. It's the Public Speaking Expert podcast. We record it live on LinkedIn and YouTube. If you make sure you follow us on that, then you can see it live. But then, of course, it's released every Saturday and then recycled again on a Wednesday. Oh my God, there's so much movement with this Public Speaking Expert podcast. It's like a machine. It's like a wheel. It's like the hammer that slams through the wall. It's like the power that will never stop, that will never be silenced, that will forever rise up beyond the mountains. I have seen the mountaintop, and I tell you, on top of the mountaintop lies the Public Speaking Expert podcast with power, with force, with love, with compassion, with empathy, with understanding, with tips, love and support. Oh, yeah.
Lovely audience. Thank you so much for putting up with this guy.
Hey,
it's not always like that. I mean, that was a lot of information. Yeah, there we go. So he's been to the mountain. What mountain? And he's been back
the
and
mountain
forth.
of public speaking
what
awesomeness.
A lot of BS that was. Anyway, I love you, brother. That's what we're talking about here. Okay, look.
That's not very nice. I'm hurt.
No, I'm not gonna be nice. I'm not gonna be nice today. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you are hurt, and this is why I decided today to make this episode, or should I say episode. I decided to make it all about you, Elliot K.
I was just about to press a boo, and then I stopped there because then it sounds like I would have been booing myself. So
that was close. That was close.
You're lucky. That was a close call.
Yes. Okay. That was.
There you go.
So today we're going to be interviewing the one and only Elliot K. Obviously,
my gosh.
Public speaking partner in crime. What's up?
Even though you hurt me.
Even though I hurt you, and hopefully with the questions, I won't hurt you anymore, but I cannot guarantee that. And people,
do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? For those of you who I'm watching right now, he's doing kind of like the psycho stabbing motion. For those who aren't seeing this on video, you got to remember that some people aren't watching this on video.
With me. And I know that's why I'm doing the gestures, and I'm waiting for you to actually share it with words. And if you don't, then I will. That's fine. Okay. I mean, people will find out one way or another that I'm looking to stab you virtually. Of course, I wouldn't do that.
It's not very nice. You're not very nice today. I think I might terminate this interview.
Well, you terminate whatever you want, Terminator. Look, today I decided to interview the one and only Elliot K, because since we started the podcast, and I think we are, what number are we on?
175 million.
All right, 175 million. And we never had an episode around either of us. I mean, we're always answering questions, interviewing people, having a great time, but we haven't had an episode, as I said before, where we dived into each other's lives, experiences, why the public speaking and everything else. So today's episode is called Stand Out and Be More Giraffe with the one and only Elliot K. I'm going to say it again because I got interrupted. Today's episode is called stand out and be more giraffe with the one and only Elliot K. What a pleasure to have him here. Elliot, first of all, well, he's saying that I'm being cruel to him and everything else, but I even dedicated a few lines to the guy on an interview that I was on recently. So,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
thanks for
that
that. That was
bad.
very sweet
Yeah,
of you.
well,
Thank you
what
so
else?
much.
What else? Yeah. So,
Don't you what evs me?
so today, people, Elliot, I want to
Yes.
start by asking you. There aren't going to be many questions, but hopefully we get to dive a bit deeper. Let's see. But I'm going to get it started. People listening, I hope you really enjoy this interview. Remember, okay, so he keeps on interrupting me. So, people, remember to subscribe, rate, and comment the podcast, take action, follow us, invite us to speak, all of that. Okay, that's very important for us, and it's also very important for you. We guarantee you that.
Yeah.
So,
And
first
if they leave a
question,
comment, what happens?
and if you leave a comment, Elliot will send you one of his books.
Or
But obviously, or what?
they
Our
can
book
go
is
on the
not out yet.
list, the
Oh yeah.
waiting list.
Yeah. So tell us,
Yeah,
tell us
you
about
like
the
that.
waiting list.
You
Yeah,
like
I
that.
like that. Yes,
Mm,
please
mm.
tell us. Tell us a little bit more about that one, and then I go for the first question, please.
Well, what we'll do hopefully shortly, you can just send it to us and then we can collate them. But you can go on the waiting list to be one of the first people to know when our book is coming out, which is coming out in July, right? It's currently being designed. And then you can be one of the first people to receive it. If you like, subscribe and leave us an awesome comment. It can be on Instagram, by the way, to comment. It can be anywhere you want to leave it. Anywhere you want to really, really leave it, you can leave it.
Remember to tag us, and remember to tag us, please. And if you really, really want to leave it, then we're gonna get started with Elliot K right now. You're gonna
All
leave
right,
it.
ready?
Yes. Twice. There we
I
go.
know.
So
Ooh.
yeah, I need to hurry up. Apparently, yes, you're saying boom.
Let's do.
Elliot K, amigo, what got you into all of this public speaking thing that you are so passionate about?
Well, I saw this guy with a beard talking about accents, and I was like, I want to be like him one day, and that's what got me into it. In all seriousness, how did it? It's kind of an
By
interesting.
the way, people, I'm the guy with the accent, all right? Just in case.
Yeah, you're the pasawai with the accent. Um, how did I get to it? It's a very good question. I like it. I like it. I might even answer it. So it's a very interesting story, I guess, how I got into speaking, because what happened was it wasn't. No, it was. It was a case of. Here's the thing. I was studying to be a coach. This is over a decade ago, right? I was studying to be a coach, and I got an invitation, as you do, via email, to see this guy speak. And when I showed up, it was a guy. It wasn't Tony Robbins, in front of 5,000 people. Now, bear in mind, I used to be a performer many moons ago. I used to be a professional dancer. I'd already accumulated 1,000 hours of speaking as a dancer. And so I kind of already had that bug for the stage. And so when I went to see this guy speak at Ali Pali in London, I was just blown away by, him and the amount of people in the room. And I was just really kind of got the bug. And I remember turning to a couple of people in the audience. I was like, hey, why aren't we doing this? We could do this. Come on, we can do this. Obviously, as you do. And that's really the beginning of it. So within that period of time of going, we can do this, I then enrolled on a public speaking training company. I worked with them for pretty much just under a decade, actually. And I became one of their trainers. And what you learn very quickly when you do make the decision to pursue it is actually how hard it is to truly become a world-class speaker. But for me, it was that moment, Ali Pali in London, looking at that guy on stage, 5,000 people going, I can do this. I can do it if I put my back into it. And that's what I did. And that was the decision there and then. But also I knew that if I really wanted to do it, I needed to invest in it and I needed really to understand it. I needed to master it. And that's been my quest ever since.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Elliot. Yes, it is definitely a career.
You're a bit quiet, Jose.
Oh, quiet? You mean, yeah, I'm going to be quiet now. The mic is like dying. What's going on?
I don't know. Keep going.
You turn the volume down
No, you're way
on
up.
me.
You're way up here.
Yeah, because when it started, it was fine. Look,
No,
I'm
it's
actually
better.
getting. Oh, I see.
No,
Okay, cool. For some reason,
You need to
something happened.
project your voice.
Yes, I will project, and then I will get in trouble with my neighbors and everything else. Everyone is going to be knocking on my door. Who is the guy with the voice?
It's the
Talk
guy
to
with the
us, I
beard who talks
say.
about
Yeah,
accents.
exactly. Who's the guy? Who is the guy? I am the guy. Elliot, thank you for that, my friend. Okay, cool. Look, this for the listeners as well. Elliot and I have known each other. Well, I would say not for a long time. It's gonna be close to 2 years soon, maybe year and a half, two
Yeah,
years.
2 decades.
2 decades. Yeah, you could then see many more gray hairs
Look
on
at the
me anyway.
lines under my eyes.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like it's all black. It's all black. And I forgot why I was saying that. Why was I saying that?
Because your life has never been the
No,
same.
because we never had the opportunity to ask each other questions like this. I mean, we always make it around the topics and the impact and people's lives and the speakers that we invite, but never about ourselves. So interesting to hear how you got started into this. My next question is around the most important lesson you've learned over your career as a speaker.
Oh, the most important lesson I've learned as a speaker. Ooh. Most important lesson I've learned as a speaker. Okay, where do I start? I mean, I think to answer that question, you have to acknowledge that you get the most important lesson as a speaker as you evolve. I think you obviously get certain lessons as you grow, as you go to certain stages as a speaker, as in stages in your growth, not stages, physical stages or virtual stages. I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned is in time and uncertainty, how people treat speaking. That's a big lesson. In the last 2 years, I've learned, I would say, about speaking and where it is on people's priority. And I think one of the greatest lessons I've learned over the last 2 years, generally as well, is how there's a big gap between I want to be a speaker and people buying into the dream of being a speaker and the amount of work that goes into being a speaker, to being a world-class speaker. And I think to me, that's one of the greatest lessons anyone can take from starting this journey is there's a big gap from I want to be a speaker, I dream about being a speaker, I want to speak in front of thousands of people, I want to inspire thousands of people, to actually practically hitting that level, hitting that dream. And I think to me that is the biggest lesson I can take away, that I've learned, that I've embodied. um and another, I think another key lesson that jumps out, if I may share too, is know your room, know your room, and know how to read a room is another one.
Powerful. Mm. Have I gone again?
You're a
Can
bit
you hear me
soft,
okay?
but I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. People, can you hear me? Give us a shout. Yeah, we can hear you,
Can you
Jose.
hear me? Of course, big shout out to everyone watching us on YouTube and LinkedIn as well. If you have any questions or any comments, please do it. We'll check them out. Check them out. Check them out.
Elliot, I really like that because yeah, when we ask about the best advice, most important advice or lesson in this case, sorry, yeah, I think we have lessons that stand out throughout our careers, and that's powerful. Yes, and then reading a room, that is key, people. So always work on that, and the fact that to achieve what you want as a speaker, as we like to say here, it's not going to happen overnight. There's loads of work that we put into it, and there's the consistency element, which is key. So working on it every day,
Every
even
day.
if you are very tired, like Elliot today, he ran 10K this morning. He's got his baby daughter that she's hurt her foot.
I know.
Plenty
Oh,
more going on in our lives, and yet we are here sharing our greatness on the Public Speaking Experts podcast. Right.
there you go.
Thank you very much. Whatever that means. I still there's some sounds in there, transitions that I still don't know what they mean, and
That
I
says
guess that's why I
amen.
get yeah,
Amen.
man. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, no, I can't relate to it. Yeah.
Do they say it differently
Fantastic.
in Venezuela?
Maybe, or maybe I just don't see it. It
Do they go,
okay. Anyway, yeah, give me something else. Powerful. That's it. That's
there we
that's
go.
all I needed. Yes, give me a yes. Give me a
Give me a
Eh,
yes.
Elliot, in your career, as you know, we always like to speak about our inner circle, the people we hang out with, spend time with, the people we support, the people we learn from. Who would you say has been, I mean, right now, who's the mentor that stands out for you in your career as a speaker, and
Mentor
why?
who
Well,
influences me.
mentor. Let's go for a mentor. Any person that's mentored you, and why is that person coming to mind right now?
So when it comes to speaking, I think a lot of what I've learned is from a mentor I worked with for about 5 years, and I became a trainer for them as well. And I traveled internationally with a company. I'm quite loyal to mentors. I'm not like an in and out kind of coachy or mentee. I kind of have long term relationships with my mentors. Um, I think the guy I'm speaking about, I worked with him very closely for years, including running his events, including delivering part of his trainings. And really, the reason he stands out is because he's a crazy genius. I was about to say something quite bad there. He's a crazy genius that he's unrivaled with his training methodologies, right? He really is. He's completely unique with how he delivers. His content is absolutely unique. He's one of these geniuses that, on one hand, brilliant, on the other hand, lacked certain people skills, let's say. And then we kind of unfortunately fell out after a few years due to a disagreement on honoring words, as in honoring your promise. But that doesn't take away from the influence he's had on me, both as a speaker, both as a trainer, both in terms of content. He has been incredible. And the other one that jumps out at me, actually, not necessarily for speaking, but for mindset, is someone I work with as well. He, is more historian. I approached him because he's doing an event with Bob Proctor, rest in peace. And I just really, really loved his authenticity. And I approached him, will you mentor me? And then he put me through these series of tests. And then, yes. And I think he mentored me for about 2 years. And it was fascinating to work with someone of his caliber, because he was like 2 million in debt, went on to make 250 million 2 years later. For at the time, a network marketing company achieved what no one else had achieved. So if ever you think you can't do something and you're talking to him, there was like, nah, it's not happening. Like, it's happening, right? You had zero excuses with him, and he wasn't horrible or rude about it. He was just very grounded and philosophical with his approach to things. And it was quite interesting to work with him. So those are the two that stick to mind when it comes to speaking, actually.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Elliot. Good to know the people that have inspired you, mentor you, people you've learned from, because that's another thing. We are here because of the people in our lives, in a way. It's not just the time we put into it, the effort. It's just who we learn from and who we look for, who we look up to. So yeah, that's very important, and that's why we do what we do as well as coaches and speakers. Coolio, brother. Okay, look, what is the best advice you've ever received within speaking? Just give us the one. Pow. Shazam.
Ooh, just the one advice, the best advice. Wow, you're asking the toughies today. You're bringing out the big guns, huh?
Buddy, I want to know stuff I don't know. I mean, if you're going to tell me the stuff I already know, what's the point of the interview? I'm not going to be excited.
Yeah, I think some of the best advice I got was, if I was to choose one, it's progress over perfection. And we've spoken about that,
Yes.
right? And progress trumps perfection.
Yes.
And I think that, to me, is everything. It encompasses everything. It's a advice. It's a philosophy. It's a principle. Progress over perfection has been probably the biggest kind of piece of advice I was ever given. And then after that, it's not personal. Rejection is never personal. That's going to be the second one.
I only ask you for one, but yeah, thank you very much for sharing another one.
You're very welcome.
Yeah,
hey,
no,
this is my interview, right?
Well,
And
but
I'll do what
I'm
I
the one
want.
asking.
I'll do what I
I'm the
want.
one asking the question. So what we're gonna do? I'm gonna clip that second advice out of it.
Oh, who's going to clip it exactly?
Well,
You're
I'll
going to sit
find
there
a
and
way.
edit
Yeah,
it?
I'm gonna clip it. I'm gonna clip it. Look.
Speaking of clips, you're up. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, let's do this.
Public Speaking Experts podcast. As you know, we are recording every Monday. We launch new episodes every Saturday, and then we recycle every Wednesday. And we are all about public speaking. Oh, yeah. Elliot and myself, we are both coaches. We support people speak their greatness. We're also speakers. So look, if you would like us to speak at your event, virtually, in person, hybrid, we're more than ready. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We are on every social media that there is. And today, we didn't rehearse or speak about this, Elliot. It's not like we rehearse things here. Sorry.
No.
What are we actually promoting today?
Take your pick.
Okay, then I'm going to pick today's episode is sponsored by the World Class Communicator online program by Jose UCAR, a very special online course that I created during the pandemic to help people speak their greatness, focusing on mindset, communication one-to-one, and broadcasting your message to the world. Check it out, World Class Communicator. And if you check it out, I'm going to give you all a coupon, Jose, all in capital, which will give you 75% off. So go for it. Let's continue with today's interview because I've got at least three more questions for the one and only Elliot K. Today, it is all about standing out and being more giraffe with a good friend of mine. I also consider Elliot. Okay, we're back. Thank you very much for the round of applause. Well, I was going to say I also consider Elliot. I consider him as in, he's considered.
I love you.
Thank you very much. Look, it's all about speaking, helping people speak their greatness. If something happened, which, life is full of the unexpected, and you had to choose another career path right now, what would that be?
I'd run a burger business. In all seriousness, I'm not even joking. I would run a burger business. That is 100%. I'm not mucking around. I even said that to my wife the other day. I said, you know what? When I sell this business, I'm gonna run a burger business. It's true. And my wife's like, but what about the impact of the environment? And no. I'm like, okay, we'll work that out in a minute. I want to run a burger business.
Wow, Elliot, my dad had a burger business and a hot dog business for many years in Venezuela, and that paid my studies. And so I can relate.
So you're funded by burgers, basically.
I'm funded by mainly hot dogs and then burgers. And well, you know what? I would go for a coffee shop.
What?
A coffee shop. I was speaking to my wife yesterday, and I was thinking, wow, if we could invest some of our money somewhere else, what would we do? What would we do? And I kept on thinking, it keeps on coming back to me, a coffee shop, like an artisan coffee shop. Let's see,
Would you sell hash cake?
Future. Yeah, exactly. Hash. Did you say hash cake?
I did say hash cake.
Yeah, okay, perfect. It's not what we're gonna serve, but you never know. Maybe that's what you're gonna get in your burgers. Elliot, well, yes. You're a seasoned speaker, my friend, and you've been in the industry for many years, and you're always improving and taking it to the next level. That's why I do admire you, because I think you've got energy, consistency, and a resilience that not many people have, not many people that I know.
Thank you.
So if I know there are many people getting started in the speaking business, early days for them, what would you say to them? What would be three things you will tell them for them to succeed in their career as speakers?
I think I think we've talked about this on so many other episodes, right? But I think consistency is key, right? Don't just do it once, don't just do it twice. I think you really arrive as a speaker after a certain amount of speaking engagements, even if you're really good to begin with, to hit that flow, to hit that kind of like, that I talk it when a speaker arrives, it takes hours and hours. So consistency is key, number one. I'd say consistency is key. Let me have another think about the other two. So being consistent would be my top one. I'd say it is really adapting a ever improving mindset, an ever improving approach, which means there's always something to tweak, to something to hone, to something to improve, to something to adjust. but not in a pressurized, oh my God, that's not good enough. I'm terrible. I'm awful at it. It's just like really looking objectively, but always looking for that ever improving drive to be a better speaker, better storyteller, better salesperson, a better reader of the room, a better communicator, right? And I think that is the second one. So consistency, ever improvement, ever improving mindset to it. And number three, I think, is, you know, it's investing, right? You've got to invest to progress. Oh, I like that one. Invest to progress. I think that's another important one. It's, yes, money investment is true. Time investment is another one. Investing in space in your life, making sure there's an energetic investment, right?
Mm.
So when I arrive or when I start a new talk or when I've already gone through it a lot in my mind before anything comes out of my mind. Before I ever structured it or anything, I've already done it loads and loads of times. I've looked at the different ways it happens. I've looked at potential heck of moments, and I've really reviewed a lot of it, right? But that's because I have the time, the energy, the space, and the money for it. And creating that, investing those four components is really what's going to help you also accelerate that and help you become world class. Because most people, again, they're bought into the dream, right? They're the wanting to be a speaker. They're not being a speaker. They want to be a speaker. I want to speak. I want to be a great storyteller. I want to share. It's like, no, become it. And the way you become it is by having those four components. Anything less than that is not enough. If you've got the time, the space, and the energy, but you're not investing money, well, that's a hobby, right? If you've got the space and you're not investing in it, right, you get my point. So if you don't have all four, you're not really committed. So consistent, ever improving mindset, and investing. Those are my three. The three, yeah, the three tips I would give you.
There we
Or
go,
anybody
people. I
right now.
really hope you get at least half as excited as Elliot got sharing those three tips, which are fantastic. So follow them, apply. And I would add to it, which is something Elliot didn't put in there, but you can sense it, you can feel it, is that passion. And I'm sure that purpose
You
element
only
of
gave
it
me
could
three though.
yeah, sure, whatever. Now it's my fault. What
It is. It's
actually
always your fault.
linking it? Yeah, absolutely. So now the interview is finishing. Thank you so much, Elliot K. Bye.
See you. That
What?
was great fun. Yeah. Woohoo.
Woohoo. This wasn't on the list of questions, but I would love to know about your purpose as a speaker, and then we wrap up with something else.
My purpose as a speaker.
Yeah, which
You
I
mean
think
why do
will
I stand on stage speaking?
um your purpose as a speaker. So whenever you go and speak, what's the reason? What's your big why? What's that thing
Well,
that
they're fundamentally
propels
very
you?
different questions, I think.
What are very different questions? Why do you speak? What's your purpose as a
As a
speaker?
speaker is to elevate the audience, so they leave better for hearing me spoke in some capacity, whether they take action. Well, of course, I love them to take action, that they would implement something differently. They would, you know, feel better, or I've helped magnify a gap in their life so they can improve. So if you to ask me what is my purpose as a speaker, it's to elevate the audience. That's it. That's simple. If you ask about my big why, no, that's a different question.
But I was asking about you as a speaker. If you want to tell us your big why as a human being, is that where you're coming from? Then
No,
please
I'm
share
just I'm
away.
just I'm just checking. I want to stay on par with this. You're leading this interview, so I want to make
Yeah,
sure I'm
exactly.
following your
I'm leading
lead.
the interview, so you better behave because otherwise I won't ask you the last
Behave.
question.
Oh,
Yeah,
hell
like
no.
behaving. That's never gonna happen, is it?
Oh, for that you definitely get a
Boo!
behave.
You're not supposed to give me a boo if I'm interviewing you.
Well, you told me to
Why?
behave.
Yeah, I did. I'm in charge of the interview. I'm running it.
Boo!
Well, people, yeah, I'm having a great time interviewing Elliot like I do every Monday. It's not like I'm interviewing him every Monday anyway. Right, Elliot K. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, elevating the audience. And well, everything that you said in there, it's always about the audience. So great speakers do tend to focus on the audience. They are there for the audience, to elevate the audience, and much more. Cool. Elliot K, finally. Thank you very much. It's been a very interesting interview. It's been great to ask you some questions about, yourself and you as a speaker. Don't give me another boo, please. At least not yet. Wait until the end. The final question I want to ask you, and let's
I
sort
love
of.
you.
Yes, I love you too, amigo. Te amo. Ich liebe dich. What's the other one? Amore mio, ti amo, yo elskarei.
Hmm.
There we go. Ooh, that's
Now we know why
svenska.
you're married. Because you can say I love you in all these languages.
Exactly. That's how I. Thinking about my wife now. Right. Last question.
Yes.
Imagine, and I've been asking this question a bit recently to people within my circle as well, family, friends, and now it is your time to answer it. Imagine you are 100, 105 years old, you are on your death bed, and you are about to leave this world as we know it, and you have a granddaughter, and she approaches you, and right before you leave, she asks you, Grandpa, what should I do with my life? What would you say to her?
Run a burger business. No, I'm not. I
Thank you
wouldn't say
very
that.
much, everybody. It's been a fantastic a vegan burger business.
A vegan burger business, yes, that doesn't leave a footprint on the planet. If my granddaughter came to me and I was 105 years old and I could still speak coherently, and she asked me, what should I do with my life? That's your question.
Yes.
I would say, probably a bit of a cliche, but I would say, my dearest granddaughter, with all my heart, what you need to do with your life is what will bring you the greatest fulfillment. Whatever that is for you, whatever is important for you, pursue the path that means the most to you. En route, you might get rejected. You might have people object to your path. You might have people not like you for it. But as long as you are fulfilled for pursuing the path, then you've lived a life worth living.
Boom. Thank you so much for
And
that,
then I'll be
Elliot.
like,
Ah. Well, people, I invite you all to answer that question as well. What would you say to your granddaughter? And usually I like to ask this question because it can be an opportunity for us to reflect on where we are today and what we would like to do with the rest of our lives. So that answer will most likely apply to us as well. So yes, I've decided to go a bit deeper today, speaking to Elliot here, having the opportunity to ask him some questions. Elliot, last but not least, brother, people are listening to this episode. They are super excited, inspired, motivated. They want to take action and they want to speak to you. Where do they go?
well, there's several places they could go. First of all, they have to follow us on the Public Speaking Expert show on Instagram, on LinkedIn. Of course, I am on LinkedIn under Elliot K. I haven't quite changed my title to whatever everyone else has done on that. They can follow us on Instagram at Speaker Express or Elliot K Speaks. You can follow on TikTok. I am Elliot K as well, where I post videos at least 3-4 times a week. You can reach out to me, send us a message. You can send it to hello@speakerexpress.co.uk. And if there's any way I can help and support your speaking or your greatness or your storytelling or your keynote or find you speaking opportunities, just drop me a line. Of course, I'm on Facebook too. So any of those, they can find me through that. And if you want anything like the free resources we have access to, then I'm happy to send you any of those as well. So just drop me a line. Drop me a line.